What's up everyone? Welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today we're going to be going through a post-practice shooting routine. I think it's really important to think about being intentional when you're working post-practice. A lot of times growing up, coaches would always talk about to me getting hundreds and hundreds of shots after practice, and that's what it takes to be a great player. And while I do think that's true, I also think players nowadays have different demands in terms of their schedules, different demands in terms of physically playing more year-round. And sometimes taking 100 shots or 200 shots after practice is just not realistic. So how can players be more efficient with their time and still hit some core areas when it comes to their shooting, but not overkill their bodies, especially after a long, hard practice or a long week of playing several days in a row? We're going to go through that today, and hopefully you find these drills helpful. So this first one here, we're just going to get into our spin and fire drill. This is one of our classics, especially if you've worked with first class lacrosse for a while. This is just big on working on our form, step into our target, and it's a great way to just work on our technique as we finish up a long, hard day at practice. I think for drill flow, this is one where we can keep this to about 5 reps each hand, and then that way too, we're not overdoing it on any one drill. Make sure when you're doing this that you're really focusing on rotating around that stick, not wrapping that stick around your head, and then really keep working on your stick path and step into your target. It's all about being really consistent with the little details, and that's why I love the spin and fire drill. We're gonna move on here. We're gonna get right into a similar drill, just our step up shooting, all right? This is one that we came up with probably 3 or 4 years ago, and I think it's really important to think about why we did this. A lot of times, I see players doing drills where they keep their front knee down, or they keep their back knee down, they reach back, and then they shoot it. And I get the idea of disassociating your upper body with your lower body. But in reality, shooting a lacrosse ball is a full body motion. We need to learn how to isolate things and make things more active and get more leg drive or use your upper body more if a player is not getting it. But that's just one reason I don't like this drill where you have the knee down and you stay there. So we came up with the step up shooting drill, and that's one where I even saw it from a baseball hitting coach, where you work on stepping up and then right into a smooth motion of exploding off that back leg. It's similar to the spin and fire, but you get more of that single leg work. And a lot of times, strength coaches work on, single leg step up, single leg exercises, because again, there's a lot of times where we're not just always on our 2 feet. So here's one where you can isolate some of that single leg strength and work on explosiveness and popping off the back leg as we step to our target. We want to be balanced as we do this. We want to keep our upper body closed, and we just want to make sure that we're consistent. And I like keeping our eyes on our target the whole time. I don't want to be pulling my eyes back. I want to be locked in, hands nice and relaxed, and then I can drive through. And notice how I can get good pop and good snap, but I'm not overly doing it where maybe I'm like falling out to the side. That's something I see a lot. I also see as a way, if you're trying to think about how to self-correct, maybe if you're shooting and you're like stepping back, notice how my weight's falling backwards. Drive to the target. You should be finishing on your front leg. That front leg should be locked out, and then you gather with that back leg coming through. So again, small things, and when you do a simple drill, but you do it really well, I think you'll really see that stuff start to translate. So after you hit 5 reps each for both hands for step up shooting, 5 reps each for spin and fire, we're gonna get into a little bit of on the run work. And again, on the run, I just think it's about being realistic with your body. If you're taking 20, 30, 40 shots on the run after practice and you're really fatigued, I think that actually holds you back in terms of being able to get good reps, working on good mechanics. That's when I see a lot of players start to fade. That's when I see a lot of players start to take crappy shots as they get tired. And the biggest thing that you can do for your team is stay healthy so that you can stay on the field. And if you're not listening to your body and you're overdoing it because you're trying to get reps, that's where a lot of players are getting into trouble. We see a lot of L4, L5 back issues with a lot of shooters who are just overdoing it from a young age in terms of volume. So we need to be really mindful of that. So we're going to take 5 reps of our over the cone drill on the run, and then we're going to dial back into 5 reps each of our layup drill. So we're going to get that set up here. I like thinking about getting shots off on the run in the 10 to 12 yard range. So I'm going to set up my over the cone at about 13 to 14 yards. And I'm going to set it up kind of dead center here. You know, and that way this is our cone that we're going to be able to turn the corner on. And again, it's all about really working to our target. And these are all going to be sweeps. So we'll get a pile of balls set up top here. So here, we're not going to worry about our dodging, all right? Again, you can mix in a dodge and listen to your body. If you're fresh, if you have a ton of energy and you want to make a split dodge first before your on the run shot, do that. But we can still be effective when we talk about our post-practice shooting, and you can take out the dodging piece to save your legs a little bit. We're going to focus on being about probably 6 to 7 yards from the cone, and that's where I want you to get good bursts, right? If we get 5 really good reps lefty and 5 really good reps righty, not even in terms of just making the shot, but turning the corner and exploding, that's where I think this can be really effective for you. So keep that in mind. Again, that's why we're trying to have purpose and intention with everything we do post-practice. Again, really think about getting downhill. We want to turn that corner off that outside foot, but we want to make sure we stay closed. We really knife our shoulder downhill, get skinny, all right, whatever term you want to use, but get to the target, all right, whether you have your hands free or not, it doesn't matter. We believe in getting to the net versus moving to the corner of the field. Change up your spots, near side and far side. We want to be as less predictable as we can, but hey, if there's one spot you're trying to hit after practice, take your 5 or 6 reps directly to that spot. It's on you to keep thinking about your shot placement. Off the pipe. That happens sometimes. Don't blame the ball. Don't blame the ball. There we go. A good one to end on there. So again, think about moving to your target, turning that corner hard, staying closed, focus on your stick path. A lot of players too, they're getting downhill, still coming 3/4 sidearm, cutting the cage in half, being a little more predictable, come over the top, be able to go high to high, high to low, near side, far side. You mix in some 5-hole, some off hip, and you'll be on your way to being a great shooter. Now we're gonna take that into our on the run layup drill. This will allow us to get more shots that are targeted to on the run without crushing our legs. And again, it's a way where, hey, maybe you say I'm gonna do 10 and 10 and skip the layups, but maybe you have that day that you're really tired, but you still need to work on the run shooting, mix in the layup drill. We come about 7, 8, 9 yards away from goal line. All right, we start with one hand on our stick. And again, this is one that layup drill has been around for a long time. I really want to give a shout out to Coach Caputo at Duke, who showed me a lot of simple, fundamental shooting drills that I've carried with me my whole time. And he's done a lot for me in terms of my career. And I would say this layup drill is one that I see people do millions of different ways. All right, but the way that we've refined it for us is trying to combine the idea of our over the cone and moving to our target. You can get up here and do a half-assed layup drill and turn your eyes and fall away and jump. all right, and still get decent results from 7, 8 to 9 yards. But we're thinking big picture and how it's going to translate and how we want to work on our technique. So I want you to focus on moving back to your target. 3 good efficient steps. You've seen this in other drills if you're subscribed to the platform. Explode, running and moving right to our target. And again, I think there are a lot of ways to do things. So, you know, I've always told players that I've trained, look, this is coming from my experiences, who I've learned, people that I trust, things that I've also changed in my game. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that it's the only way, because it's not. There's a lot of different ways. But as soon as you find a little bit of success with doing something, all right, and you're also hearing advice from people that you trust, why would you not go all into that technique to make it yours, to make it your best, so that again, you can become as good of a player, or in this case, a shooter, as you can, instead of doing it a bunch of different ways and just being okay at it, all right? Don't be afraid to buy into something that you see working and that you feel working in your game. This is also one where, you know, we have in our platform and other workouts where we can do split and load, split load roll, different things like that to work on hand exchanges. But this is just our simple layup drill. As we get 5 and 5 there, that puts us at a shot count of around 40 shots. I think if you're efficient with your time, and if you walk with me here, I think if you're efficient with your time and you do a good job of being consistent and building up a routine, I think you can be really effective and see some results in a short amount of time. And then again, to finish up, now look, you might only have 15 minutes, and I think you can get those 40 shots off in 15 minutes. You might have a little more time, so we're gonna finish here with some time in rooms and a hitch that'll take us around 70 shots total. So we'll do 5 overhand time in rooms, we'll do 5 underhand time in rooms, we'll do 5 hitch to a time in room, and then you'll flip it and you'll go on the other side. And that's your 70 reps to kind of finish off our shooting drill. We're gonna finish up and dial in here, and then we'll send you on your way. Again, you can work the high and away, the off hip, the low and away. Maybe a little 5-hole. Get your near side high in there. And again, one thing I want you to challenge you might have a day where if you're not hitting that spot, you might get stuck here and you might just take 20 or 30 more reps and keep shooting there because you know you want to hit it. But if that's always your mentality, you're going to miss parts of your workout. And maybe you're going to get so focused on one part of your game and you're not going to give the other parts of your game the attention that you need. So make sure that there's some days that, you know what, you got your 5 shots, just like you got your 2, 3, 6 shots in the game, and you got to make them count. And there's consequence to them. And if you don't hit them, you're not just going to be able to sit here with a bucket of balls and have the goalie let you hit the next shot. So make sure that sometimes you challenge yourself to stick to those 5 because they really matter, because that could be the next big shot in the game. And if you know what, if you don't hit it, all right, think about the Mamba mentality. Think about someone like Kobe Bryant, who when he airballed 4 shots in the playoff game of his rookie season, he went and shot in the gym for hours when they got off the flight. And you can hear him talk about that in that documentary. And then the next year he came out and got his vengeance. So, point being, right, sometimes you got to limit yourself, not only for your body, but because you're not going to have a million shots in the game always. So have a little consequence to it. So let's see here. We'll make sure that we really stick to our 5. We'll see how we do. But I'm feeling decent about these underhands. 1 for 1. Oh, High and outside, let me adjust there. High, let's go. There we go, third one's a charm. Last ball right here, I'm gonna change it up. Top center, I was going for top right, but sometimes that still goes. So again, that's my 5 balls. I did decent, I think 3 for 5. And then we'll finish with 5 hitches. And then this is where we talked about it in our last YouTube video, our summer shooting workout. Make sure you check that out if you haven't. But we worked on hitches to plants, meaning you're hitching, you're getting over top your defender, and then you stop and shoot. All right, we want to have a good plant to a shot versus keeping, moving and having to shoot only on the run out of a hitch. Oh, I wanted that one. Just going for a little deception there. Last ball, best ball. There it is. Shout out to Coach Zeller on that one. That was one of her favorite phrases when we were doing training at USC. Last rep, best rep. So, but hey, appreciate you tuning in. Hopefully you found this helpful as a post-practice shooting routine, and also just get a little more insight into how we think about our training, managing our bodies, making sure that you're not overdoing it, but you're also still getting mindful, intentional reps to be a great shooter. So thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. Appreciate you passing this along to your teammates, and hope to see you at a future FCL or best in class event. Thanks so much.